beautiful, and thanks so much for watching. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can achieve a flawless full coverage foundation if you are suffering from acne or cystic acne, or if anything is stopping you from getting a flawless full coverage face. Then please keep watching because I'm going to show you how you can achieve a flawless full coverage face. You first want to start off with a clean face and clean hands because you are going to be using your hands for your foundation and your concealer. So make sure your face is clean whenever you're wearing makeup, and make sure your hands are clean because you touch your face a lot with your hands. Also, if you have acne, remember, if you are treating your skin with any acne medication or whatever, make sure that whatever you're using is clean. Your brushes, if you're using a beauty blender, which is not really recommended. I personally use one, but you really shouldn't use one because it collects a lot of bacteria. You should not use one of those if you are suffering from acne and you are trying to treat your skin. But you want to make sure your brush is clean, your whatever products that you're going to be using on your face, whatever you're going to use to apply your makeup, make sure it's clean, make sure your hands are clean, and make sure your face is clean. So I have cleaned my face and I have cleaned my hands. And the first thing you want to start with is a moisturizer. Now normally I would start with an acne moisturizer, but the acne moisturizer that I am currently using it's a oil-free moisturizer, and I don't really have oily skin, so it's been drying me out. So today I'm going to use this Nivea Creme moisturizer on my face, and I just take this and I just dot it on my face, and then I just moisturize this into my face. And if you think that you have oily skin, you still need a moisturizer. You still need one. No matter if you have oily skin, you still need a moisturizer, because moisturization to your skin is very important. Even if you are one with oily skin, you still want to moisturize your face, because all those oils that are pouring out of your face, they're just getting rid of oils, but you still need to replenish all the oils and all the moisture that is coming from your face. So always, 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 always moisturize, no matter what. So after we are done moisturizing our face, we are going to move on to eye cream. Now this is optional, but I do put on eye cream just to brighten up my eye, and it's just going to help with like any wrinkles or anything like that. It prevents that, and it also works to prevent that. And I use the Benefits Eyes It's Potent Eye Cream. So I just dab that under my eyes, and you want to be gentle under your eyes, because this skin here is very sensitive. So you want to be very gentle when putting on your eye cream. And I just take that much, not a lot, just a little bit, and I just pat that in under my eyes. And then with any leftover product, I just pat it on the top on my eyelids. I just pat that on my eyelids. So now after we have on our eye cream, we have moisturizing, we put on our eye cream, so we got all that done. Now for the base, for any flawless face, or just for anything that you're going to do with your face or even your eyes, a primer is a necessity. Always a primer is such a necessity. Now I use the POREfessional Pro Balm, and this is supposed to minimize the appearance of pores, and this is by Benefits as well. And I put this on my face. First I put it on my hand, and then I take the product and I distribute it onto my face. Any places where you get really oily. Now I don't really have oily skin, but I do get oily really bad in my T-zone. And then I have big pores on my cheeks because that is where I break out the most. And then I also put it right in my creases, because when I smile, you see I have these creases right here, and this is where my concealer or my foundation would crease a lot. So I put that right there to minimize the pores so that I don't get a lot of creasing there. And the primer is just going to minimize your pores like it says, and it is just going to make sure that your foundation and your concealer or whatever it is that you apply to your face stays onto your face all day, and it's going to make everything look more flawless, and you won't see like big pores like where your foundation would like seep through. It'll just look flawless and very well put. So that is definitely a necessity for me. I love to have a primer on, because if not, I get all kinds of oily and I just look like a big grease ball. So I don't want that. So we are going to make sure we prime our face very well. After we have primed our face really well, the next step is our concealer. Now, if you are fighting acne, I know for me, concealer is like the most important step. I am like a concealer freak, and I use these little NYX HD Photogenic Concealers, and I go through these really, really fast because they have a lot in this little tube, but once it's gone, you can't really get any more out of here. So yeah, I go through these really, really fast, and these are my favorite right now. And what I do to cover up my acne is I just take my concealer and I put it wherever there's redness or a pimple or dark spots or whatever it is that I need to cover up. I will just go crazy with my concealer and put it everywhere I think I need coverage. So I put this everywhere, and I also have cystic acne, which is the acne that bulges out of your face, and it drives me freaking insane. It's just disgusting. But I'd rather see a big bulge in my face. I know that's crazy. I'd rather see a big bulge in my face than a big conking red zit, or like a big conking red zit with like a white head on top. Like, that's just disgusting. I'd rather see that. I'd rather see it concealed than to see that. So I just conceal everything on my face that I think that needs to be covered up. And this literally, like, I could just wear this alone by itself, because it literally covers up everything that I need covered. Like, it covers up all my redness, any dark circles, any bags, anything, whatever it is that I need to cover, it covers it. So I'm really enjoying this concealer a lot, and I put on a lot of this concealer. So after you've put your concealer on, what I do is I just take my ring finger and I just start to pat that into my skin. You don't want to rub this, because then you'll just be rubbing it off. So I just pat it into my skin. I just bounce my finger onto my skin, and then I just pat that all over my face. And I blend that in really well, because in the summertime, if you wanted to, well, it's still kind of like midsummer, fallish, but if you wanted to, if you didn't want to put on like a lot of products on your face, if you are comfortable with just wearing your concealer and a powder putting over it, a lot of people are. Sometimes I am too. Sometimes I just want that full coverage, flawless face, so I will put on everything. Okay, so now once we have our concealer on, it may look a little discolored or not all well blended in or whatever, but that's okay, because we are going to put on a foundation that's going to help put on more coverage. But just like that right there has pretty much like covered everything. Everything looks a lot alive and awake and a lot better than it did before. But just for the full coverage, for the sake of the video, because this is a full coverage foundation routine, I'm going to take my L'Oreal True Match. Now, okay, just one second. I have to rave about this. There has never been a foundation that has matched my skin perfectly without mixing a bunch of different colors together to get my skin tone. This is just amazing. And when they said they are 100% sure or 99%, whatever the percentage was to find that you could find your color in this foundation, they were telling the complete truth. And I love L'Oreal for this because they have 33 different shades and they have every undertone. And since I'm yellow undertoned, I can never find my color. But look at that. I am in Classic Tan N7 and this is my color, and I'm just so shocked and amazed that I could actually find my color. Now I just take a nice amount of this foundation and I put that on the back of my hand, and then with that I just take it and I just dab it onto my face without it running down my hand. You gotta work fast if you put it on the back of your hand. I just put that in dots all over my face. And I like to put it on my face first because I feel like if you put it on a brush or if you put it on your beauty blender, that you are soaking up a lot of your product without it actually getting on your face. Pat that as well into my skin, just like we did the concealer, just to get the product into our skin. And then I'm my beauty blender by Real Techniques, and I am going to blend everything out. So I know I said that it's not okay to be using a beauty blender if you have acne and you're trying to, you know, cure your acne and you're taking any medicines for it or anything. But I find that I get really great coverage if I am using a beauty blender. So I am just going to use a damp beauty blender, and this beauty blender is by Real Techniques. And if you are going to use one of these and you are trying to cure your acne, make sure every single time you are using it that you wash it really well. So yeah, but I really get good coverage with this. That's the only reason I still use it. And sometimes I will use a Real Techniques stippling brush to work in my product, but I find for a flawless face that these beauty blenders work heavenly. So with that being said, I'm just going to start to just bounce the beauty blender and evenly distribute everything onto my face. We're just going to, and I really like what it feels like because it's damp, so it's kind of cool, and it just feels really good on your face, and it's really good for blending. So I really like to use the beauty blender, even though I am trying to cure my acne. Although, even though it's bad, my acne has been doing a lot better. And I also use, for my acne, I use, instead of using regular makeup wipes, I use acne-free makeup wipes. So they come moisturized, and they come with a acne treatment inside of the, well, with the cleanser, it has an acne treatment onto the towelette. So when you take off your makeup, it's actually treating your skin at the same time. So I really like that a lot. So I do use that when I take off my makeup. So that's really good. Even though I'm using this beauty blender like I should not be, my acne is doing well, and I will knock on some wood because I don't want that to start acting up, because I said it's doing really well right now. And you always want to make sure when you're applying your makeup that you drag your makeup onto your neck, because you don't want to look like a ghost. So make sure you're dragging that down on your neck. Now after I have put on my foundation, most of the time what I will do is I will take the concealer again, and if I feel like I have removed any of the concealer that was under there, I will go back in with my concealer and I will just touch up where I see some of my dark spots or some of my imperfections peeking through. I will just go back and conceal those one more time, just for some extra coverage. After I have went back and I concealed one more time, I will take my NYX Matte Finishing Spray and I will just spray that all over my face. And the reason I do it now is because I have put on concealer, foundation, and another coat of concealer, and I want all of this, because this is the liquid part, I want this to say matte, and then I will also do it at the end when I finish with my eyes and my powders and my blush and everything else. I will also spray this again, but I spray it twice just to ensure that I'm going to keep a matte face all day long. So you just want to hold it out here, and I just spray that a few times, and I lean into it a little bit too. And you just want to fan yourself and make sure it is dry. In order to get a flawless face, you want to let your foundations and your concealers, all your liquid products, you want to let those set into your skin first, and then you want to go in with the powder. So you want to wait about 5 to 10 minutes to let that all set first. So while I'm waiting, I will either do my hair or I will work on what I'm going to do for my eyes. Now I have finished my eye makeup. And now and it's been about 5 or 10 minutes, so now I'm going to just set my foundation, and I'm going to put on blush, and I'm going to contour my cheeks and put on a lip. To set my foundation, I just use a translucent powder. I use the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Finishing Powder, and this is just a white color. And I know, do not be alarmed, since it's white, I put it in the top. Since it's white, it's not going to turn your skin white if you are applying it correctly. So what I like to do is I take this Real Techniques, what is this? The Real Techniques buffing brush, and I just put that into the product, and I swirl my brush, and I tap off any excess, and then I go I tap this to get the product into the brush. What I do is I just like to pat that onto my skin. And I like to do a patting motion because if you are rubbing it into your skin, then you are just rubbing all of your makeup off. So I just, again, swirl, tap, then I buff or, pat it into the brush, and I just pat it onto my skin. And like I said, if you are applying this correctly with the correct brush and everything, then you will definitely not turn white. A lot of people get scared of this because it is white, but it literally mattifies your face so perfectly, and this actually controls oil too. So that is that's a really good plus about this. So I've done that. Now next I'm going to contour, and to contour I use these two Maybelline Fit Me. I use 340 and 360 because the 340 it's not dark enough to contour, but then I use the 340 with the 360 just because the 360 is a little bit of more so of a red undertone, and this one has a yellow undertone, so when they mix together they go perfect together. So I just take these two on a contour brush. It looks like this, and this is a Real Techniques brush as well, and I swirl it into the 360 and I swirl it into the 340, and then I will just make a fishy face like that. And you want to put the contour, whatever you're using to contour, you just want to put that into the hollows of your cheeks, and you want to blend that out because you do not want your contour to look harsh, but you want it to be, you don't want it to be that noticeable. But take that, and we are going to contour our cheeks. We're going to take more, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now once you've gotten down like your fishy face and where your contour goes, you no longer have to do that, but I did it just to show you guys. And how you know how far you want it to go, if you take your index finger, if you put it onto your cheek right here, your temples right here, you want to take that, is this your temple? No, that's not your temple, but the highest part, like right by your ear, you want to take this part of your knuckle and you put it here, and then you extend, and that's how far your contour should go. Now you can take it a little bit up some more, like back toward your hairline more, but you don't want it to go any further than this right here. So that's how far you want it to go. So quick little tip. Now we are just going to contour, and I do contour my entire face. So I do the hollows of my cheeks, I do my temples, around my forehead. Go down on my jawline. Just a smaller brush, something like this. This is a matte brush. I just take the same colors that I contour with, I mix them together, and then I dust it off a little bit, and I go down the bridge of my nose. Stippling brush. I like this, had a little bit of product on it. I kind of cleaned it off, which is kind of probably bad, but I'll take my stippling brush and I blend my contour out. Blush, I am just going to take my BH Cosmetic Hollywood palette, and it has 4 different blushes in it, and I am going through them very well. They are used up, and I am just going to take the one here, this light pink color, and I am just going to pop that onto my cheeks. And I like to go more so back toward my toward the back of my cheeks, just because it looks a little bit better and it looks more flawless. Like, instead of putting it all on your cheek area, like the apples of your cheeks, I don't like the way that looks. It looks too, like it's too much. So I like to put it back toward my hairline, and I do take my blush up a little on my temples. So just to make sure, just to make it look more natural. Again, go in with my HD Studio Photogenic finishing powder, and I swirl my brush, tap the excess, and then I go in and I just put that onto my face one more time, just because we just put more product on our face and I just want everything to be set very well. And then also with this brush, I tap off the excess, and then with this brush I like to blend everything out as well, because this is a buffing brush, and it'll just buff all the product. It'll just buff all the product into your skin very nicely. So I like to take that and buff everything out. So then for lips, I am just going to put on, I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Pink Ice. Looks like on top of that, I'm going to use my all-time favorite lip gloss, which is the NYX Buttergloss in Creme Brulee. No, not in Creme Brulee. I'm going to use my NYX Buttergloss in Vanilla Cream Pie on top of that. So this is the completed look with everything all on, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and please be sure to leave any requests for anything you would like to see in the future below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.